we've all touched on the Jadon Sancho situation in a lot of detail, but Alejandro Garnacho linked with a move to Chelsea again. They've spent 70 million on two other youngsters that are coming in this summer and then 2026. We know they need experience. If they go and replace Sancho, who has ultimately flopped at Chelsea LB, with Alejandro Garnacho, is that the right move for Chelsea? Is that getting them closer to challenging and winning the Premier League, in your personal opinion?
No. No. Garnacho is an average player at best, in my opinion. Listen, I don't know how many times we have to speak on this, yeah, but we all know what Chelsea need. They need the senior pros, the top ballers, the X Factor. They need what Arsenal needed in the summer. Yeah, the X Factor players that are going to push them across the line. Yeah, and we're talking about players like Garnacho and paying money not to take Sancho. That club is a mess, mate. Yeah. Now, I actually respect the Chelsea fans that went on that protest a couple of weeks ago. I don't know full details about it. I ain't a Chelsea fan, yeah. But like, respect to them guys, innit? Because that club is an absolute disgrace. Yeah. Paying money not to sign a player. Have you ever heard of this in your life? And then on top of that, you're potentially going to sign Garnacho. When you've already signed Neto, who's not really banged, you sign Mudryk, who's going to get a drug ban, yeah, and now you want to get Garnacho, man. What are we doing here? Honestly, it's absolutely incredible. The way football's gone now, it's like teams don't want to win. It's honestly like teams don't want to win anymore. Like these boards, like just sign proper players like Arsenal last summer. Yeah, just go and sign a couple of mint players and you get across the line. They end up with Sterling on loan, Marino and Calafiori. Chelsea, you got a decent core of players. Go and get a top striker. Go and get a top goalkeeper, one or two others, and bang, you should be challenging. And we're hearing names like Garnacho. I don't know what's going on at these football clubs, man. I feel like it's a social experiment or something. Turn everyone, crazy, man, because I just don't get it. And I don't know how much the fee's going to be for Garnacho, but I can't imagine it's going to be too cheap. Yeah, because he's a young player and United are going to demand a decent fee. I'd imagine it's going to be at least 50, 60 million quid is what I'd imagine. But he's just an okay player. He's an okay player. And I don't understand why they're going for another okay player. Yeah? Like, who were their wingers? Neto, Madueke, Sancho, and
it was Mudryk. It was Mudryk, but he's gone bad now.
So you're telling me, right? They want to upgrade. First of all, yeah. Where's the stuff about goalkeepers? All talk but no solutions from LB. Bro, is it going in one ear out the other? What are you talking about? I just said go sign a goalkeeper, go sign a striker. Yeah, I was telling you guys, I was telling Chelsea to sign Osimhen in the summer. And a lot of people in the chat saying Osimhen's washed. He scored nearly 30 goals now this season. Yeah, but I was being told that, no, Osimhen's washed. We can't pay him the money. All right, nice one then. Yeah, I just don't understand it, man. I don't understand this like views from people these days who are just like, go and sign the best players, man. Osimhen was right there. You still got Sanchez in net, man. You're talking about Garnacho. Nah, it's crazy, man. They're trying to sign a striker in the summer. I told them to sign a striker last summer, Ranch. I told them, oh yeah. Do you know what I mean? I told them to sign a striker. I said, Jackson's crap. He's not a striker. He's not good enough to be a striker at Chelsea. I said, go and sign Osimhen. Yeah, I'll go inside. Not if you don't want Osimhen, fine. Just go and get a better striker. Nah. Jackson's fine. Yeah, first 15 games, Jackson scores a few goals. And guess what we hear? Oh, LB mudded. Jackson's season. It was the same thing last year with Havertz, when Havertz scored a few goals at the end of the season last year. Yeah? You know what I mean? Go and sign a striker in the summer house. No, Havertz is... No. Yeah, there's a difference between a player that can consistently score goals, yeah, and a player that has a little bit of a purple patch form. Yeah, Gabriel Jesus, the same. Another player that can go for a period of time and score quite a few goals. He's not going to do it consistently, and that's what you need to win a title. Yeah, I don't get what's going on here, mate. Garnacho goes to Chelsea. That club needs to be investigated, man, because that's crazy. That's honestly crazy, mate.
What's hilarious to me is that LB already in the chat, people are saying...
Now, you know what it is? You know what it is, Potsy? They know that me and you were right all along. They know that we were right. But instead of just accepting that me and you was right in the summer when we was calling this out and saying go and get a striker and go and get... I was saying in the summer Sanchez is the worst goalkeeper in the league and I was getting told he wasn't. I was saying Jackson's crap striker. Yeah, go and sign Osimhen. Yeah, well, it's not like I was mocking them, like bantering them. I was giving them like legit advices, bro. I was like, go and sign Osherman. Go and sign up. Nah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And they didn't like it. They got cooked. People was up in our DMs, man, trying to cook us. And now instead of just going, Fairs, LB and Potsy were right, we should have signed Osherman. Should have signed a goalkeeper. Yeah, now what? I don't even know what they're saying anymore. Yeah, the banter's dead.
Now they're saying in the chat, me and you need to go and hate on another club. It's brilliant. I mean, what makes me laugh the most is that actually they've spent £1 billion on kids. That's what they've done. They're not interested in spending that £1 billion on players that are ready to win now. Chelsea are completely unrecognisable to the Chelsea they were under Roman, and they literally cannot stand it. But you've got a section of the fan base that believe that this is going to work, that this Clear Lake thing is going to be. I've always believed in it. It's going to take us to the level of the top. But how can they have that? The evidence suggests that they've failed at every hurdle. They're 4 years without a trophy. They've bought in and spent an unbelievable amount of money, more than anybody in the Premier League. Arsenal get bantered for how much they've spent. Tottenham get bantered for how much they've spent. Liverpool, Newcastle, Manchester United, Manchester City, we all get bantered for how much we've spent. They have spent unbelievable amounts of money in the last 2 or 3 transfer windows, accounting to almost over $1 billion. Is it nearly 5 billion? It's an absolute ridiculous amount of money. And you can't tell me more than 4 players in the whole of that squad that you'd be taking into your team. That is how not to run a football club, in my opinion. Because I look at it now and I think I'm a big fan of Caicedo. I'm a big fan of Palmer. I think Lavia is a very good player, albeit injury problems. Reece James, when fit's very good. And then I start to dry up, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute. I'm okay with Jackson. I don't really think he's top level, but he's all right as a squad player. He shouldn't be the number 1 striker. Yeah. Jadon Sancho. You've got Pedro Neto, who I think is a baller, but hasn't been proving it this season. And then I'm still drying up. Cucurella, he's half all right. Fofana, pretty decent, but always injured. Levi Colwell, not good enough. Sorry, not good enough. Enzo Fernandez has got better, but he's nowhere near £105 million. Garnacho coming in would just tip or just prove they haven't learned anything from the last 2 or 3 transfer windows. You can't keep making the same mistakes here, right? If you go and buy a Madueke and you think maybe he's all right squad player, but he's not going to take us to the next level, don't go and buy another Madueke in Garnacho for another 60, 70 million. Yeah. Go and get ready-made players now. Chelsea go and get a goalkeeper. You think, right, that's a pretty decent goalkeeper. Even if it's a Premier League goalkeeper, yeah. Even if it was Matt Sells over at Forest, you'd think, do you know what? That's a massive upgrade, and he's been one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. Totally makes sense. He's ready now. Yeah. You go and get a centre half. Diamande looks to be a very top player that could get better and better over at Sporting Lisbon. He goes and partners for Fofana if he's fit. You go and get a proper striker like Osimhen, like Gyökeres, and then you go and get a proper winger like Ademola Lookman. Chelsea have a really good 11 then. This is how close they are. It's not like Chelsea are 15 players away. Chelsea are probably 5 brilliant players away from going and challenging. But they don't want to do it. They want to go and get Garnacho, and they're really excited about Esteval coming, and Kendrick Paez will be here soon. Come on, man. They're not ready to go and win them a league.
Well,
maybe that's not what they want, Tel. Maybe these fans are actually looking at this now and thinking, no, we want a process like Arsenal. They're turning into Arsenal. I keep saying this. They're going to be 5 years. Give us 5 years. We're going to need this process. We're going to need this time. I just think it's bizarre, man.
Do you know what I think it is partly as well, though, a certain sector? You know, you'll get, well, I certainly remember them on the housing estate I grew up on, the mums of the really naughty kids, not just like we played knockdown ginger or we stole a pint of milk off the back of the milk float. You're talking the real naughty kids. But, you know, we all knew those naughty kids growing up, whether you lived on a housing estate, whether it was in your area. But, you know, some of them had those mums, predominantly the mums. Some dads did it, but predominantly mums, where they could be caught beyond red-handed and they would still say, no, it's you lot. It's not my boy. It's not my boy that did it. He's perfect. He's lovely. I think some people are just so in love and so deluded by that love of their football club, just as these mums on my housing estate were. I'm just having so many laughs remembering. I remember one lad literally climbing out of there's a community centre. He was caught climbing out the window with a TV he was stealing, and his mum still went around saying he's innocent, he didn't do it. We all saw him climbing out the window, middle of the day. I just feel like some people are like this with their football clubs. It doesn't matter what they do, good, bad, or indifferent, they will dig their heels in and say, it's fine, it's okay, there's nothing to see here. What about Liverpool losing Trent? United are in the mud and they're building a circus. Spurs ain't won anything for decades. City are facing their charges. What can you say, Arsenal? What have you done recently? And there's some valid arguments in there if you're talking about those clubs specifically. But what none of that does none of that is an argument against the problems that are at Chelsea. And if they go out this summer, I said it on yesterday's show, if they go out this summer and they sign 2 or 3 real established players, they can get back to challenging very quickly. The problem is
we said that in the summer though.
No, exactly. And this is the thing. The scrutiny's got to be there because they're now linked against it's either Garnacho or Griffins from
Jamie
Dortmund.
Gittins.
Jamie Gittins, who's also young. They've got the 2 youngsters they've just bought from Sporting Lisbon. If they sign one of the other 2 we've mentioned, that's another 130 odd million on 3 kids. How much more money genuinely is left, by the way, at a club who only turns over 600 million a year? Okay. How much more money is left to then go and buy the world-class goalie, the world-class centre-back? Okay, let's rephrase this. The top-class goalie, the top-class centre-back, the top-class attacking midfielder, and a top-class goal scorer. If they drop, because they've still got to pay for the players that are coming in 2026, if they drop another 130 million on kids, how can they then go and afford any top goal scorer is costing you what? 60 million. Top centre-back is 50, 60 million. Top goalkeeper, 50. How are they? I don't see financially how they afford it. Unless, by the way, they're going to cash in on a few players that have done well. So unless they're going to sell a Palmer, unless they're going to sell, I mean, a lot of them like Enzo, sell an Enzo. Maybe somebody wants Cucurella. And I'm only throwing these names out there because they're the only assets that they're going to fetch a pretty penny for. Yep. Most of the other first team players, they might make 5 million on this kid they bought and haven't played.
But not serious goal,
They're not making serious money unless they sell someone that's successful. And look, I'm not saying everything that Chelsea have done is wrong. I'm not saying every signing is a bad one. That has never been said at any point whatsoever by me. But I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking you need your club to be steering absolutely clear of any kids or any youngsters. It has to be 23, 24 minimum, up to about 30, experience in multiple positions.
Fans are obsessed with this now, Terry. Yeah, fans are always like, I get it in my chat. Yeah, I'm talking about signing Bruno G from Newcastle if it's at all possible. Probably not, but I'm talking about it. People are trying to tell me he's too old. He's 28. You know what it is, yeah? This FIFA generation, this football manager generation, they only want to sign 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds. That's all right. You can have a few of them, but you need to have some experienced players in there. I was speaking about it on my channel yesterday about our wingers, because our 3 wingers now we're going to have for next year are all under the age of 22. I said, we need some experience in there. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking at Chelsea, and what we said in the summer is you need to go and get a better goalkeeper because Sanchez is crap. And I said it plenty of times that he's the worst goalkeeper in the league. That has been proven factually this year because he is awful. So go and get a better striker. The Chelsea fans try to gaslight people, try to tell us all that Jackson's a better striker than Osimhen. Fake news. We all knew it was fake news. So why Chelsea fans try to tell people that Jackson's good? Why? Why is that? Why were Chelsea fans so desperate to tell everyone that Jackson was a better striker than Osimhen? He's not a better striker than Osimhen. And then they're talking about salary caps. What's that got to do with you? You're a fan of the football. Who cares about the salary cap? It's up to a club. I'm not being funny, but when you spend 1.5 billion quid, it's a bit cheeky to talk about salary caps. Do you know what I'm saying?
They all turn into a cannons, bruv. They all turn into a cannon.
What I don't get is, in the summer, all we was doing, is just calling out what was staring us in the face of massive errors that Chelsea were walking into. And a lot of their fan base didn't like it, and I don't understand why. But all we was doing was pointing out legit facts, bro.
See,
like Osimhen, mate. Osimhen.
Sorry. I was going to say here, sorry, LB. The JJ says nobody said that. I specifically remember Don talking about spending caps. I specifically remember Don talking about it and praising it and saying we need it, right? Or are we deluding ourselves here? I swear we all heard that from Chelsea.
No, he said it, bro. I know he actually admitted it the other day. You know, and the thing is as well, I just pulled up, a stream here, from 6 months ago on this channel, right? And bro, it's easy. Look at this. Listen to this comment. Yeah, this is the first comment on the channel. Yeah, this was 6 months ago. Me and Potsy on the channel. Right? Where's that comment gone? Osimhen is not worth breaking up the Chelsea wage structure. Osimhen has only got 1 season where he scored 25 goals. The rest of his seasons have been average. Jackson scored 14 goals last year in a harder league. Osimhen scored 15. Let's not act like Osimhen is Haaland.
What's the beginning of the title of that video so I can find it? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I'll just link it in the private chat.
Oh, yeah, that's probably easier, isn't it?
There you go. Number one, number one.
Go and read them out. Read them out.
There you go. Osimhen is far from a sure thing in the Premier League. We don't need him. All right, so you're happy with Jackson then, yeah? What is wrong with it? I don't get it, man. This
No, I
guy's
don't
scored
get it
pure
either.
goals, bro. I don't understand why. Like, bro, you don't watch him. If you don't watch him, just say you don't watch him, innit? But don't try and make these myths that the guy's a dead player. He's not a dead player. Oshiman's a good player, yeah, who scores goals. And if you don't watch him, just say you don't watch him. Don't try telling me that Jackson's a better striker than him, because he's not.
Yeah, that's Dan. I haven't actually seen Dan Walters on our shows for a while, and look, I know there's a lot of Chelsea fans are unhappy in the comment section, but at the end of the day, in fairness to LB and Dan, they were calling this stuff out earlier on in the season. They were abused left, right, and centre for saying it, and now it feels like some of those chickens are coming home to roost. And I don't even think it's necessarily because you've built a bad baseline. We can all now see what Chelsea need to go forward, and the fact that it's being ignored, that, in my opinion, should be sobering to a Chelsea fan. It should be.